Hey everybody, and welcome back to The Throwdown. I'm Isaiah Butler, back here with Logan Hansen. Let's get right into the leadoff.
Trevor Bauer was suspended 324 games. It's equal to 2 full seasons under MLB's new joint domestic violence policy. It's the longest suspension under that policy. Astros manager Dusty Baker made history as he became the 12th manager ever and the first black manager to win 2,000 MLB games. And then Ronald Acuña Jr. made his long-awaited return to the Braves lineup after tearing his ACL last season, bringing a spark back to the reigning world champions lineup.
Staying in the NL East, the Mets used 5 pitchers to pitch the first no-no of the season on April 29th against the Phillies. The Yankees had the longest win streak of the season snapped at 11 when they finally dropped the game to the Blue Jays on May 4th. Shohei Ohtani became the first pitcher to pitch and bat in a game at Fenway Park since Roger Clemens. He also was the first since Babe Ruth to do so towards the top of the lineup, batting third. The Angels defeated the Red Sox, and the comparisons to the great Bambino continue. I was able to talk to Dusty Baker's son, Darren, who had his first career walk-off for the Wilmington Blue Rocks, the high A team for the Washington Nationals. Here's what he had to say about the family's standout week. So getting started, just how would you describe your relationship with your dad, Dusty?
It's almost like, he's like one of my best friends. Even aside from baseball, I feel like, I just have a lot of respect for him, and I know the different, trials and tribulations just throughout his life. It's just a different perspective for me. So, I love him, and, he's one of the closest people I have.
Yeah, it's great. And you've seemingly been with your dad for every moment since you were born. Just what does it mean to you to be able to share those moments with him?
It's special, obviously it's a tough schedule. Him, being in a season and I may be at school or, in college I was playing games and things like that. So, there's a lot of lost time but to be able to share, some of his biggest moments with him is stuff I'll never forget for sure.
Understand that. And on Tuesday, your father won his 2,000th game. We all know what the significance of that is. Just what was your reaction to that moment for your dad?
Yeah, it's something, we spoke about, even going back to, from when he left Washington. It's just something that he really wanted to get done. He was proud of it, and, he didn't know if he'd ever manage again. Different things like that. So, extremely blessed, and I know how much it means to him.
Yeah, that's great. And this is, like we mentioned, one of the few moments of your dad's managerial career since you were born that you missed. Just how did it make you feel that you weren't able to kind of share that in the moment there?
Yeah, it was disappointing. My mom was there, and some other family, but he understands, I understand, I have a job to do. So, I FaceTimed him and I was, yelling at the phone, excited and stuff. So it all worked out.
Yeah, definitely. And it definitely worked out for your team there. That same night, you were busy in your own game and were able to hit the walk-off sac fly. Just what was the reaction to getting the win that way on a night that was so significant to your family?
Yeah, it's just, it's crazy how things play out. It was my first walk-off as a pro. It just happens to be the same night as, 2000. So right after the game was over, I started streaming the game on my phone and checking the score. So I was hoping, we can, both win on the same night.
Yeah, I think that's great. That's a great moment that you two can share. And obviously, you're a strong player in your own right, and that's been shown when you got drafted last year in the 10th round by the Nationals. Just what did it mean to you to be drafted and have a chance to work towards being an MLB player?
Yeah, it meant everything for me. The COVID year and the 5-round draft, it didn't work out for me the way I thought it would. And, this being the second time the Nationals picked me, I feel like, this is where I'm meant to be. So just happy for the opportunity, and, it's something I've been waiting on for a while.
Yeah, that's great. And obviously, you and your dad are kind of sharing the headlines this week with your dad having the 2000th, you having your first career walk-off. But it wasn't the first time you guys shared the spotlight. You exchanged lineup cards last spring training. Just what was that moment like for you to be able to see your dad on the field in an MLB game for the first time?
Yeah, it's stuff you dream about. Definitely something I'll never forget for the rest of my life. I was in the on deck circle, and he was smiling at me through the dugout, and I was just extremely grateful. Davey and the rest of the staff gave me an opportunity to share that moment with him. Was pretty special.
Yeah, that's great. And, your dad, as good of a manager as he's been, he also had a very, very great standout career as a player. Just how does it feel to be able to follow in your dad's footsteps as a player in your own right?
Yeah, it means a lot. I unfortunately, never got the chance to see him play live. But I watch a lot of the videos and things like that. But, I'm just trying to, kind of make my own way and, kind of carry on the name.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, with that, there are some expectations of you since people know what your dad has done as a player and obviously now as a manager. Just what should we expect from you in your baseball career?
The expectation part, I feel just like, anybody else on the field. I'm not really trying to live up to anything, but, I play hard every day. I want to win, and I feel like I have a lot of different ways I can help a team. So just doing what I do and just having fun.
Yeah, that's great. And last question to kind of wrap it up here. Your first famous moment being your dad's son was when you were a little boy, just 3, during the World Series going onto the field. Do you remember anything about that moment, or is it something that just gets brought up to you in time and you just kind of laugh about now?
Yeah, I sadly don't remember anything. I wish I did, honestly. But, without the video or, people mention it to me, I really wouldn't know it happened. It's a funny moment. I just wanted to get the bag. Kenny Lofton was, one of my idols growing up, and I just happened to be at that time, that place at that time. So it's a funny thing, but no, I don't really have any recollection.
That's okay, but definitely a great moment for you and your family to share. I'm sure one that your mom is happy that you had some help on the field for. So.
Yeah. My grandma and my mom, they definitely don't let my dad forget about that one for sure.
Yeah, don't blame him for that. Well, in terms of questions, Darren, that's all I have for you today. So I just want to say thank you for taking time out of your schedule to talk to me, and congrats to you, congrats to your dad, congrats to the family, and best of luck with everything going forward.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
That'll do it for this week's episode of The Throwdown. We'll see you next week and the rest of the season.